Every year tells a story, but 2025 did not whisper. It spoke loudly to Nigerian youths. Welcome to Youth Connect, and this is our 2025 year in review, a look back at conversations Nigerian youths could not escape, the debates that shaped our thinking, and the questions we are still struggling to answer. Today, we are not just revisiting topics, we are revisiting realities and to review the conversations that shaped the youth's narrative in 2025. In this review, we are connecting the dots, reflecting on the lessons and asking the most important question of all. What did 2025 teach Nigerian youth, and where do we go from here? I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Now, 2025 turned a lot of Nigerian youths into a full-time hustlers, from online businesses to freelancing, content creation, and informal trading. Side hustle became a lifeline. We asked, is side hustle culture empowering youths or exhausting them? In 2025, hustle was not a choice, it was a coping mechanism. This episode was a bit chaotic, especially when I asked the guests if they think side hustles are a reliable path to financial freedom, or are they just temporal solutions? Now, Grace Oneku Omaye, an interior decorator, Elizabeth Ijangiri Fidelis, an entrepreneur, and Lukuman Nuhu Onoreza also joined me on this conversation. Now, take a look. People that will start something because they see their friends starting. Yes. What works for another person might not really.
You have to define your strength first.
Then exactly.
There are visibility studies you have to make, arrangements, know which one is, where can you venture into, which one that will not exhaust your time. You have to think about all this. Self-define before venturing.
I feel like a lot of people sometimes they are very confused.
Exactly.
And they tend to, just pick anything for side hustle. That's why I keep emphasizing on. Pick an interest, something you love to do, something that it is a passion for you.
Are you also aware that there are a lot of things that are your passion, but it's not any reward in terms of financial aspect?
No.
So that is why people have to jump into something that can give them that instant funds, that money. So at the end of the day, you find yourself in the standing in between.
I think I would disagree with you with that.
It seems like we're going to have a part 2 of this conversation because
definitely. I love her opinion, but not totally agreed on her several.
You need to.
The main motive is for you to have that extra
money.
Income.
Presently, people go for money, not passion.
Now that's where you get it wrong.
Exactly.
That's where you get it wrong. Okay. I know side hustle is aimed at making income, but you need to start, like I said, side hustle is starting small.
Exactly.
Sometimes starting small, you might not earn anything.
Yeah,
but when you give it time,
the passion to push you.
But when you give it time, and it is something you love to do, you begin to think, okay, how do I make this thing better? How do I get income from this thing that I love to do?
Yeah.
Okay, how do I make people pay me for this thing that I do? And that's where your passion will push you towards becoming better. And the better you become, the earlier you start earning.
Now, another topic that has been eaten deep into the Nigerian youth status quo is cultism, which remains one of the silent traps confronting Nigerian youths. We examined how lack of opportunities, peer pressure, and insecurity continue to expose youth to cult-related violence. The question was never why youths are attracted, but why the system keeps failing them. When hope disappears, dangerous alternatives begin to look attractive. Now, in this episode of Youth Connect, I was joined by Amos Bawa Gebano, a teacher and a clergy who has a foundation that rehabilitates and advocates against cultism amongst youths in Nigeria. Okay, so what are the reasons that, many youths now join cult groups in Nigeria? I know that it's not just Nigeria, it's all over the world. It's just different maybe for other countries, but mainly Nigeria now. What are the reasons? Because you have a foundation that...
Well, there are so many reasons. Because as I'm standing as a youth, you cannot intimidate me. So there are many youths. I should have gone from the family setting, but let's look at it this way. When it started then, as I told you, there was a standard to be a member of the parochial fraternity.
Yeah.
But some people who could not meet the standard were expelled and they formed a rival cult. Now, because they formed a rival cult, so there is a fight for superiority. in the campus and in the society. Now, some youth who are not part of this cult group, they feel inferior, so they are called a Jew, and therefore they want to belong. And there are so many deceptions. There are so many deceptions that came to play. Some people believe if you're a cultist, you'll be wealthy, you'll make it easily in school. Of course, and it happens. You discover that students who don't even write exam because they belong to one cult or the other, they intimidate the lecturers, and then they want to make it. So they carry intimidation. So there are so many things to it. Number two, there is what you call revenge. Officer, let me come back. Let me localize it. There are so many people that join cult because they want to take a revenge. Let me give you an example. There is this young man who is dating a gentle young man, dating a lady, and then very beautiful girl, and then this cult guy who believed that he's a big boy in campus came around, intimidated this guy, and took away this girlfriend from him. And the guy feel intimidated. He felt intimidated. You know, so some other guy approached him. He said, what's the problem? He said, this guy came, look at my babe, he took her away and all that. And this guy is a member of the IA confraternity. And then they encourage him, they say, if he joined them, they will help him to bring back his girl. And actually, he joined them.
Should I stay and fight or leave and survive? This debate dominated youth's conversation in 2025. Japa was not just about travel. It was about dignity, opportunity, and peace of mind. For Nigerian youths, Japa is not just abandonment, it is a response. I was delighted to have Haruna Dahiru Al-Hassan and Sylvester Oyinye Ogoke share their take on this matter.
So you mean the labor here is more harder than whatever it is you're going to face?
You're working 9 to 5 and you're getting, like you're working abroad, working per hour. They pay you per hour. They don't pay you per 9 to 5. You get paid per hour.
I think the government needs to change something. So they start paying.
They get paid per hour. So you can
monthly.
Let's just go to like the lowest aspect of the job. Let's see like cleaners or waiters or waitresses. Mm-hmm. They work per hour and they have shifts. You can see in a day, they might have like 4 or 5 shifts. Mm-hmm. You might see 3-4 hours shifts. You just go to your work, come back, just 4 hours, you're done. Now, this allows you to explore other job opportunities. Quite all right. You can work one shift this morning here and work night here. And that's you working 2 jobs. But in Nigeria, working 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. And that 9 to 5, it's not like you're leaving the house by 9. You're leaving by 7 or 6. Depending on where you stay. And you get to your job and the usual thing, hustle and bustle, you try to make sure you meet all the needs for that day because they set a goal for you every day. Now, if you don't meet that, you tend to going to the next day at work, trying to finish what you started yesterday, and also trying to accomplish the one you are doing today. Now, that is like a buttload of work. You need to like try and balance it out. Now, you can't balance that once you, and mind you, you still have a social life. Mm-hmm. You can't be all about work. You need to have time for family and also time for other things. Now, you don't have time for any of that here. No, if I'm taking that treat and I'm leaving. Because
so you're going to go for the $3,000 with the hard labor? And then leave the 500,000.
I'm guaranteeing you that, and I sound delusional, but that hard labor is not what, it's not the hard labor you think is hard labor.
Oh, okay. So, but he talked about leaving family, and you also talked about losing friends in terms of, the Japa. So, do you think it's selfish for those that actually left the country just to pursue their dreams or, in seek of greener pastures? Do you think they are being selfish for doing that because they're leaving their families behind?
I don't think they are being selfish. Most of them go with the dreams of actually coming back for family, right? And for others, they are there and they are sending help to the family. So I think it's just they're actually being sacrificial. It's self-sacrifice. So one person decides to take the burden for others to have the opportunity to also explore tomorrow. So I don't think they are being selfish at all.
Nigerian youth question the value of certificates without skills, degree versus practical knowledge, classroom learning versus real-life survival. We asked, what truly prepares a youth for today's Nigeria? In today's world, knowledge opens doors, but skills keeps them open. Let's hear what these 3 guests, each excelling in their field, said on street smart versus book smart. Which one pays more? Do you think Nigeria's economic situation forces youths to be street smart even if they are book smart?
Yes, it does. Gone are the days when stuffs are handed out to you. And my father told me that back in the days, once you go through school and you get out there, they give you a car, a house, and a waiting job. But you can agree with me that it's not like that now. You have one position and then thousands of Nigerians applying for that position. The structure, the system doesn't absorb all that comes out of school. So already you know that what you have is little. You cannot absorb everybody that is leaving school. Hence, thinking the other way. What is street smart? It's just practical knowledge and experience on how the world works. What is your present economy? How do you get out there and get things happen for you? If you get on how it's done before, maybe you go through school, then you get out there, you apply to jobs that thousands of people will apply to. Fatima, I tell you, you will not be successful. It will take you a longer route than years to be successful. Hence, you need to think out of the box. That's what being street smart is. You have to trust your instincts. You have to trust your guts. You have to be able to take risks. You have to get out there and make things happen for yourself. And that's what being street smart is. The economy doesn't support you. It's not like before where things are handed out to you. So you just have to make things happen for yourself.
Now, do you also agree with them that a little bit of street smart and book smart is needed to stay relevant? Let's hear your thoughts on the comment section. Now, another topic that also took away the peace of mind of Nigerian youths is protest. Now, you all agree with me that 2025 reminded us that silence is no longer an option for Nigerian youths. We discussed protest as a tool for accountability, questioned their long-term impact. Is protest enough, or must it be backed by structure and strategy? Protest may start conversations, but action must sustain them. My guests spoke extensively on this topic, and now let's remind you of their contribution. Bukar, what are some of the issues in Nigeria today that you believe is worth protesting for?
Well, I think if you look at Nigeria's socio-economic reality today, you would understand that there is a lot of hardship in the land. The devaluation of Naira, as well as other economic reforms by the present administration, has not been able to yield, immediate positive gains. Even though we are still hopeful that in the long run, some of these reforms would be able to bring about some positive changes, but at the moment, people are feeling the heat. There is a lot of people losing their jobs every day in and out, and a lot of people are not able to meet up to their basic needs, which is something that is really, really troublesome. And if you look at the security situation, which can also be attributed to these socioeconomic realities, there is an exacerbated security problem across Nigeria, especially in major parts of the northwest and the north central. There's lots of kidnapping and banditry activities that are happening, and people no longer feel safe to ply Nigerian high roads, to travel and go and do their daily businesses. So these are very, very critical issues that on normal circumstances, a nation like Nigeria should be able to deal with, because these are the basic and the most or the least that any nation should be able to provide to a citizen: security, which I think is the most crucial aspect of human life. People do not have basic human security to be able to secure themselves while in their homes or even while going to their works. I think it's really something that causes a lot of fear in people and also disrupts our socio-economic activities.
Nigerian youths, we are more politically aware, but also more skeptical in 2025. We question whether youth's participation is about real change or temporal relevance. Are youths shaping policy or just amplifying campaigns? Political awareness without power is frustration. Hear what my guest said on this topic. Take a look. Obina was talking about sensitizing our women. Do you agree with that before they try to vie for any position?
Yes, we should be able to sensitize our women. There was this radio show where someone was saying that in various August meetings that women get to hold, rather than going there to just gossip about what your husband is doing or gossip about
showing off.
Exactly your landings that this man bought for his wife, or the latest car or your latest grandchild. how about you start to talk about politics? How about you start to talk about women in that particular meeting? How about you start to tell them that why can't you run for office? Or if you want to run for office, go there and tell them, I want to run for office. I want your support. Tell them everything you plan to do for them, their market, their business, their family, their career, every single thing, and just see how it resonates with them. Also ask them, what would you like to do? You know, so that by the time they are appointing Minister of Women Affairs, they will not go to appoint a man. They will appoint a woman who they see have been doing the work on the ground. So they know that this woman is not just coming to, you know, come and talk about or wear one latest jewelry or talk about the latest car she bought, but she's coming there to actually be the voice of women. And women problems are not just about Olandis and jewelries. There are other things. We also do career too. We also do technology, everything. We're tech men and tech girls too. So we just don't do that alone. You get it? So when it comes to politics, I think women have to stand up and say we have to start sensitizing ourselves by our own selves. You know, start being, you know, being because we are being governed, we also have to be governed. And by being governed, it means that we are going to be governed by the things we know we need.
Now, you all agree with me that election seasons come and go, but youth empowerment remains a promise. We discuss how youths are mobilized for numbers, not nurtured for leadership. Being seen is not the same as being empowered. So how do youths take back control? I was thrilled to have a former Deputy Speaker, Nigerian Youth Parliament 5th Session, Right Honorable Samuel Peter Aye, and Changemaker public commentator Sunday Joseph to air their concerns on this matter. How can we make Nigerians, especially Nigerian youths, understand or to be aware of the, you know, power that they have when it comes to politics, because we know that politics is what runs the country?
Now, just like you said in your introduction, Nigerian youth make up for more than 50% of the voting population. And unfortunately, like I said earlier, many young Nigerians have not realized the power that we have. Because when we know that this power is in our hands, it belongs to us, and we have that proper knowledge and understanding, I think it will help us channel and redirect this power to the right quarters, that is getting leaders who are concerned about our well-being as a people, and particularly about our well-being as young Nigerians. One thing that we can begin to do is to engage in conversations like this to help young people realize actually that we have the numbers, we have the strength, like my brother Sunday said, we have the strength, we have the number, we have the time, we have the luxury of time as young people, we have that energy, we have that strength, and then we have the number. And it's just to help young Nigerians understand this. And by the time young Nigerians get a full grasp of these realities that are ours, I think it will go a long way in helping us know that we no longer need to be recruited by political leaders during electioneering period only to be remembered during another electioneering period.
Now, definitely, if we come together, we will definitely take power. Now, 2025 showed that skill acquisition became the new security. From tech to creative industries, skill offered independence. Skill acquisition is no longer optional. It is essential. Skills don't wait for government. They create leverage. But are skills alone enough without inclusion? I was joined by Dr. Victor Kwambogi to discuss skill acquisition as a key strategy for reducing youth unemployment. Which specific skills are most demanding in today's job market, and how can youths gain access to them?
Yeah, so before we talk about the skills that are in high demand, I must first and foremost lament the fact that we are operating an educational system that is not really driven towards addressing the challenges of the 21st century. You find a situation whereby people are studying courses that are very conservative in nature, very traditional in nature, that are not able to proffer any reasonable solution to the challenges of the 21st century. I was reading some days back that in the United Kingdom, the government are even trying to delist some courses from their educational system because those courses, in their own opinion, are not proffering any reasonable solution to the menace of their aspiration for their collective development. So when you say what kind of skills are in high demand, we live in a generation where artificial intelligence is coming with a very serious speed. And artificial intelligence, some youths are already scared that it's going to take them out of the job opportunities away from them. But I tell some people that if you can take advantage of the advantages coming with artificial intelligence, it is something that has the capacity to even help you to be able to drive yourself towards the issue of out of the doldrums of unemployment. So when you talk about skills, you have an area called digital marketing. I was speaking with a group of youths, I think last week at one of the universities here in Nigeria. I asked a question: how many of us operate smartphones? How many of us have a mobile phone? Almost everybody's hand was up. And I told them that this is already an opportunity that you can have with you, because so many industries, so many companies, so many organizations are looking for people that can be able to manage their social media pages. Some are looking for youths that have developed themselves to the extent that they can be able to craft good content, that they can be able to sell their market, that they can be able to sell their product and convince prospective clients to be able to buy their market. So when people say, I am unemployed, I'm applying for jobs and this and that, and yet you have a smartphone, and all you need to do sometimes is just to develop your skills, and become a digital marketer. The opportunities are numerous in the current world.
Youths are tired of meetings without outcomes. On this discussion, we emphasize moving from conversations to participation. When we said that youth inclusion is not charity, it is justice. But what was my guest's point of view on this discussion? Now take a look.
All right, so we all know that, 2027 is approaching, the general elections. What specific steps is this current administration taking to create space for youth participation in governance?
Election cycle in Nigeria, it's every 4 years. It's written that we know after the 2023 election, there will be the 2027 election. And it's the responsibility of INEC, let me use that word, they have what they call continual voter registration exercise. People turn 18 every day. And by the virtue of the Constitution of Nigeria, at 18, you're eligible to vote. People turn 18 every day. That's why that window is for them to register for new registrar, new intending person who wants to register with INEC, or persons who intend to transfer their registration from one polling unit to the other, from one state to the other. And that's where the window is. I think it's actually ongoing right now, where people are supposed to go register. And what the government is supposed to probably do is to ensure that enlightenment is done to the grassroots, where those polling units and those wards, to enlighten those people who are turning 18 every day, or those who probably not even interested, who have either turned 18 long time ago, are not interested. Get them in, let them understand that their votes will matter, their votes will count, their decisions will influence what will happen in 2027. So we just need more advocacy. I know the National Orientation Agency is doing a lot. The new management is doing a lot. Minister of Information should also come in. Other agencies of government should come in with regards to enlightenment and empowerment of people to know their basic civic responsibility of participating in an election.
Now, lastly, in all of this, technology played a new role. In 2025 alone, creativity met technology. AI became a tool to enhance and not a replacement for storytelling, content creation, and innovation. AI did not silence creativity, it amplified it. I was delighted to have been joined by Muhammad Liman, a writer, and I asked if he sees AI as a creative partner or a threat to human originality, and this was his response.
And you asked me how have I personally used AI? That's a great question. For me, AI has always been a way to, because for somebody who's not necessarily a beginner anymore, AI has always been a way for me to fine-tune some of the more technical aspects of writing. Grammar, punctuation, sentence structure, and a lot of times consultations are also useful. Okay, this is what I'm writing. What do you think? As opposed to this certain theme that I'm trying to represent. How do you feel like it works? And the AI recognizes patterns. It looks through other books. It understands other authors, and then it gives you constructive feedback. And I think that's the most significant way that AI has helped my writing.
Well, I'm impressed to see that, it has helped you improve in some aspects of your writing, like you rightly mentioned. But is AI a creative partner or a threat to human originality? Because we are talking about, having the original part of you being a writer and then also the AI also helping? So is it a threat to originality?
Well, I think this is one of those questions that depends on who you ask. There are many traditionalists who feel like technology is getting in the way of true artistic brilliance and everything should come from you. But then there are those who still feel that, okay, we've evolved globally. You know, this is where we are as a civilization. We have a tool like AI, and why not use it, you know? So to me, I think AI opens barriers for people. You know, it helps people enter the writing space. It's a very efficient tool, a consultant, an application you can use for yourself as a writer.
But can AI truly capture human emotions, feelings, especially when it comes to writing either poems or stories?
That's a brilliant question, and the answer to it is one of the reasons I feel that AI isn't a threat to creativity. Because what AI does, as we previously discussed, is it looks at data, it looks at previous works to determine what it will give you back. And so AI is an imitation of human emotion, not necessarily human emotion itself. And I'll give you a great example. Let's say you ask AI to write you a market woman. The AI will look through the news, it will look through different stories of other authors to write you what it believes a market woman in Nigeria should be. But you as a writer who has been to the market, you've looked at market women, maybe you've met some, and perhaps you've met a market woman who every time she laughs, she scratches her nose. That's something you put into your writing to give your characters depth. It might seem like a small detail, but these are the things that bring your story to life and the things that AI can't do for you.
Now, as we draw the curtains on our 2025 year in review, one truth stands out clearly. Nigerian youth are not short of ideas, they are not short of courage, and they are only tired of being unheard. In 2025, we saw young people under pressure to succeed, hustling to survive, questioning the old system, and searching for new paths. What connects all these choices is one thing: the desire for dignity. If 2025 taught us anything, it is that Nigerian youths are no longer waiting to be invited. They are building skills. They are asking hard questions. They are demanding inclusion, not as a favor, but as a right. The future of this country will not be decided only in offices and boardrooms. It will be shaped in classrooms and streets, in tech hubs and creative space, or even in conversations like this. Youth Connect remains that space where youth's voices matter, where dialogue leads to direction. This is not the end of the conversation. This is just the beginning. From all of us at Trust TV, we say thank you for listening, thank you for engaging, and thank you for believing that Nigerian youths are not the problem, they are the potential. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Now connect with us again in 2026 as we bring you fresh and exciting discussions on Youth Connect. Now, in case you missed any of our episodes, do well to join us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news and programs like this. Stay blessed.